We are at the Jurong East Stadium for tonight's live game from the AIA Singapore Premier League, and what a match it is. It's a top-of-the-table clash between Albirex Niigata and the Lion City Sailors. Well, it doesn't get any better than this, just 1 point separating the two teams as we head into game week 12 of the season. What a treat it is for all of you watching at home, and especially for those who've managed to snag one of the 100 tickets available for tonight. Let's have a look at the league table. As you can see, it is so tight, isn't it? At the top of the summit, just 1 point in it between Albirex and the Sailors. So it's a really good chance for the Sailors to go top of the table tonight with the right result. Hougang United are just 4 points off the top. They take on Tanjung Pagar tomorrow at the Hougang Stadium. Kickoff is at 5:30 p.m. The Young Lions, of course, propping up the table, but they'll be relieved with a 1-1 draw against Tanjung Pagar earlier in the week, and that ended a run of 4 straight defeats. And welcome along. Really good of you to join us. We are here at the Jurong East Stadium for what is arguably one of the matches of the season. My name is Colette Wong alongside Rish Rojan Rai, and it's just in time as well because we're just coming back off a break, nearly a 2-month break. And what a way to introduce the second half of the season.
Yeah, with a huge game right at the top of the table, Colette, between two very strong sides. There's plenty of quality that's going to be on show in this game, and I'm really looking forward to this one. New coach as well at the helm, Lion City Sailors. We'll touch on that a little bit later on, but look, incredible. And it's nice to see as well, at least we've got some fans in the stands, and hopefully it's not too long until we get a few more coming through. Yeah,
fingers crossed it'll be 100 fans until August the 18th, and hopefully even more moving forward. But you mentioned the new coach for Lion City Sailors, Kim Do-hoon. He's a recognizable face, a recognizable name as well, because he led the Ulsan Hyundai to the AFC Champions League just last season. Tell me how big a coup this is for the Sailors.
It's incredible. I mean, it still amazes me that he's here. You know, when you think about a coach of his caliber, his quality, the fact that the Lion City Sailors were able to bring him over here. He's an Asian champion with Ulsan, a title challenger with Ulsan as well in the K-League, falling short a little bit over the last couple of seasons to John Book, but look, he's got plenty of experience. He knows exactly what he wants from this team. Generally sets the side up in a 4-2-3-1 sort of formation. That is his preferred shape. He likes a possession-based game, but he's not afraid to mix it up as well. You know, if he's got central defenders who've got that ability to play longer passes forward, he's going to use that as a tool. You know, you think back to a profile of someone like a Dave Boltois, for example, with his ability to play make from the central defensive positions, and someone like perhaps a Georges Philippe in this Lion City Sailors lineup, again, with that ability on the left foot to play even longer passes. So they will try and vary their style of play a little bit. He's also spoken about organization, wanting to make sure that, you know, when you're a side like Lion City Sailors and you keep a lot of possession, you have a lot of the ball, you can be susceptible to the counter-attack, and that's a matter of controlling the spaces, making sure you're nice and close together, so that when you do lose it, you can counter-press effectively as a unit and as a team.
So we've got Kim Do-hoon, new to the Lion City Sailors, but they've also gone out and they've added to their squad. They've got Haris Harun, of all people, back in Singapore. He spent 7 seasons with Johor Darul Takzim, and the 30-year-old has signed a 3.5-year deal with the Lion City Sailors. How important is he going to be in their title chase this season?
It's going to be very important. I mean, on the pitch, in terms of, if you're looking at him from a tactical sense, he can play in central midfield, he can go box to box if you need him to, he can also sit in that holding position and just protect the back four. He can also fill in those central defensive areas if you actually need him to. So on the pitch, tactically, brilliant, wonderful quality on the ball. He knows exactly what he's doing with all his experience gained through the years as well. And then off the pitch, that comes into it as well. His ability to lead and guide the younger players that are coming through in this Lion City Sailors side. He's an incredible professional. Haris Harun takes care of himself so well, and it's just, I'd imagine it's a real pleasure for some of these younger guys to be, you know, working with him on a day-to-day basis and picking things up from him on the pitch, off the pitch as well, how you take care of yourself and stuff like that. So it's a really important signing for me in terms of Lion City Sailors, and also the impact and the quality that it has on their squad, and suddenly the boost that they have in central midfield with the options that they have in those positions. It's incredible. I mean, you're thinking about Shadan Sulaiman, suspended today. Saifullah, suspended today. Song Yu-yong, suspended today as well, after that red card from in that last game against the Young Lions. But still, when you look at the options that they have, if you bring up the options that they have, they've still got plenty of talent and plenty of quality in there. Again, Haris Harun coming in, Diego Lopez, call it that $3 million signing, 5 goals, 4 assists this season. He is a bit of a surprise because he's not going to be in the starting lineup today. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. But look, plenty of internationals. Saifullah Akbar is someone who has been really impressive. That young player And even with the under-23 quota, you'd imagine a player like Saifullah would be starting on merit anyway. That's the quality that he has in those central midfield positions.
Yeah, we'll talk about the starting lineup when we do actually have a look at the starting lineup, because that's really very interesting. But I just want to harp back a little bit about Haris, and I know you spoke to him in a podcast interview last week, and you got a lot of information and insight into his time and experience at JDT. How much has he developed as a player, as a person in that time away?
Yeah, he touched on the fact that, going over to playing in Malaysia as a foreign signing, and, the expectation levels go up. Because you're coming in there, you need to be better than the locals. You need to be constantly available in terms of your fitness levels and things like that. You need to have an impact. And so he spoke about how he grew, having that responsibility on his shoulders, coming over, helping JDT to win their first title, and then going on and having that sort of streak that he has. He also talked about picking up these experiences from the likes of Luciano Figueroa, the players like that who have helped him grow and develop and become a real leader.
Yes.
So he's going to bring all that to this Lion City Sailors side.
Wow, it's such a result, isn't it, for the Sailors as well as for the Singapore Premier League to have Haris Harun back here playing in Singapore. We're going to take a quick break. We've got plenty more coming up. We'll also hear from the two coaches as well. Roshan and I will be chatting about the starting lineups as well. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our live coverage from today's AIA Singapore Premier League game. We're live at the Jurong East Stadium. We thought it was going to open up, the skies and heavens were going to pour, but it is still very clear for what is arguably going to be the biggest game of the season between Albirex Niigata. By the way, they're unbeaten this season, up against Lion City Sailors, who have plenty of weapons in their armory. But let's talk about Albirex and their defense. 9 goals conceded in 11 matches. That's part of the reason why they're unbeaten. Yeah,
look, again, it's incredible, the level of organization and the fitness levels that they've got, this Albirex Niigata side. And when you look at their lineups, generally, you know, not too many changes, so that really helps with the momentum of this team. But also, what they have is an incredible goalkeeper in Koga at the back. So once you do get in behind that defensive line, you still got to beat this man right here. I mean, 11 appearances, 9 goals conceded, 83% of his shots have been saved in the SPL this season. I think he's second in the league as well. With shot save at 42. And that's surprising to me, that's intriguing to me, because when you think of Albirex, when you look at that strong defense that we often talk about, they still concede chances, they still concede opportunities to the opposition, so maybe they're not quite as tight as, you know, sometimes we speak of them, but they've still got Mr. Reliable at the back there in goal. And also, aside from that, the principles of goalkeeping that he has, you know, in terms of his presence in goal, his ability to, his shot stopping, his reflexes, how he comes out and claims crosses. He's also very good with the ball at his feet. And that really helps Albirex in their build-up game. He's almost that extra player for them. And he's also that sort of player who can play make from deeper positions because he's got incredible delivery with the longer passes. So those are all the things that he brings to this Albirex Niigata side. Not just on the defensive front, but with the ball as well. You know, that's a really interesting point you brought up. You know, he's very good with the ball at his feet. Is that something that goalkeepers tend to neglect too much these days? No, I think over the last few years, the game of football has changed. You know, we require more from goalkeepers. And yes, you still need those fundamentals. You still need to be a good shot stopper and things like that. But I think the way the modern game has evolved over the last few years in terms of playing out from the back, in terms of the expectation that goalkeepers need to be better with their feet. And I think they are sort of changing that in terms of the youth coaching, in terms of the goalkeepers that are coming through. Because as I said, in that build-up, you become the extra player. And that's incredibly valuable to coaches in the way football is going forward. Okay, it's time now to hear from the two coaches. Let's start with the Albirex coach, Keiji Shigetomi. Here's what he had to say.
Okay, Coach Keiji, your last match was exactly 2 months ago. How tough has it been to keep your boys focused on the task at hand in the past 2 months?
We have played friendly matches with other teams almost every week, and it was good time for our injured players to recover and other players to build up their conditioning. Okay, you're going up against Coach Kim Do-hoon for the first time. Do you expect LCS to play a different style of football? I don't know, but we are looking forward to playing with Sailors. Okay, and with the Sailors just 1 point behind Albirex Niigata at the halfway mark of the season, do you think this game will be a title decider? I don't think so, because every match is important for us. Okay, Coach Kim, so glad to see you here in Singapore football. You have only been here for less than a month. What message have you been able to put across to your players?
이제 감독님이 오신 지 한 달 정도밖에 안 되셨는데요. 선수들한테 이제 보낸 메시지나 이제 입력시킨 게 있습니까요?
메시지보다는 우리 선수들을 알아가려고 노력했고, 우리 선수들도 저와 같이 축구하면서 또 즐거운 축구라든지 또 우리가 뭐 싱가포르를 대표하는 구단으로 가기 위한 우리가 준비를 잘해야 된다는 것에 대해서 우리가 서로 의견을 나누고 있습니다.
So more than just the message, I spent my time here trying to get to know the players and trying to improve the team so that we become a team that can represent Singapore. We try to play enjoyable football and football that they are willing to play.
Okay, talking about the football that you enjoy, well, we have seen you with Incheon United and Ulsan Hyundai as well. But what brand of football will LCS be playing under Coach Kim?
감독님께서 울산현대랑 이제 인천에서도 감독직을 맡으셨는데요. 여기서는 이제 좀 어떤 스타일의 축구를 구사하고 싶으십니까?
뭐 제가 일단 선수들을 잘 파악하는 데 일단 먼저 우선이라 생각하고 있고, 우리 선수들이 가지고 있는 장점들이 와서 보니까 또 많은 것 같아서 그 장점들을 최대한 살릴 수 있는 축구를 하려고 하고 있습니다. 저는 뭐 인천과 울산에서 경험들을 통해서 그 경험이 이제 우리 선수들에게 도움이 될 수 있게끔 노력하겠습니다.
So first of all, getting to know the players, getting to know their traits, their strengths, it's the most important. And then depending on what their strengths are, we'll try and play the football around that. What I'm trying to implement in the team is something that can bring the strengths out and extend it further. And I hope my experience in Ulsan Hyundai and Incheon will help the players grow here as well.
Okay. And one last question. This is your first game in charge of the Sailors. And it is against league leaders Albirex Niigata. How important is this match for the title race this year?
이제 감독님께서 첫 공식 경기신데요. 이제 알비렉스랑의 경기고 우승 경쟁에 있어서 이게 얼마나 중요한 경기인가요?
네, 뭐 일단 작년도 우승팀이고 뭐 알비렉스 니가타가 잘한 강한 팀인 건 알고 있습니다. 하지만 우리도 우승에 하기 위해서는 또 이 팀과 우리 좋은 승부를 끌어내야 된다고 저는 생각하고 있고 오늘 저희 첫 경기지만 1, 2팀과의 더 경기니까 우리가 승리할 수 있도록 하지만 우리가 준비한 것들을 잘 넣을 수 있게끔 하겠습니다.
So Albirex, as we know, are last year's winners, and it's a fight between the first and second place. And so, of course, it brings great importance that we win this in order to stay in the title race.
Yeah, he may be new to the Singapore Premier League, but he knows exactly the importance of tonight's game against Albirex Niigata. Do you think he probably wishes that he was up against a different team tonight in his first match?
No, I don't think someone like him has got that mentality of shirking any challenges that could come his way. I think he's absolutely going to be up for this in the sense that what a big test it is, right?
Yeah.
Right from the get-go.
Yeah.
He's had a few weeks to work with the team, and of course it's not going to be a situation where he's gotten all of his ideas across, but generally the players will have some kind of idea of what's expected out of him. So I think he's relishing this one. Someone like him who's played lots of big games,
yes,
who's coached in lots of big games,
yes,
in big competitions. This kind of stuff won't faze him.
He can't wait, I'm sure, to get started. But let's have a look at the team lineups. They are out. Let's start with the home side. Albirex Niigata. There's a full squad for the coach to choose from, bar one really key player, Roshan.
Yeah, I think Sirboy is going to be a big miss for them, and that's something that probably in the 2-month break, it's something that they probably would have had to try and look at and try and work on in terms of how they replace a striker who had 11 goals, 4 assists before his injury. 15 goal contributions to their total of 27, which is an incredible contribution. It's one of the highest in the Singapore Premier League. So to lose a player like that, it makes a huge impact in terms of your overall style. You're suddenly losing a player who's that focal point, who's someone who can be that striker who can hold it up, link it up with his midfield, make those runs in behind as well, get himself into good attacking areas to finish off those opportunities. So losing a player like Sir Boy is going to have a big impact. But when you look at this Albirex Niigata side, it really is sort of a team structure and a very cohesive sort of team unit. And I think the injury, while absolutely not great, perhaps came at a, if you look at this in terms of counting your blessings, a decent time in the sense that they had at least a couple of months to try and work out what they were going to do in those forward positions, try and create a few understandings, trying to create a few relationships in those forward areas. Generally, this is an Albirex Niigata side who don't make too many changes with their starting lineup. It generally is quite stable. So losing Sir Boy is going to be a bit of a blow, but I think it's an opportunity for some of these other guys to step up. They don't lose. They lose that out-and-out striker, but it's an opportunity to try something else.
Okay, let's talk about the Lion City Sailors. Now, this is an incredible team. As we've been talking about, we've got the inclusion of Haris Harun, but when we have a look at the starting lineup, if we could have a look, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces actually starting on the bench tonight.
There's lots of quality on the pitch, and this is the way LCS have sort of built their team. But you're absolutely right to point out. Gabriel Kwak is going to be on the bench, which is it's a big surprise to me. Diego Lopez, as we touched on earlier as well, is going to be on the bench.
Yeah.
And from what we're hearing, there aren't any issues with injuries or things like that. So it's an interesting lineup that Kim Do-hoon has actually put out. Again, we touched on Albirex and opportunities for a couple of players in those forward positions, perhaps. Plenty of opportunities for this Lion City Sailors side. When you think about Akari getting a rare start, Adam Swandi getting a rare start, Faris Ramli, a player of Faris Ramli's quality who hasn't played too many, hasn't got too many starts this season for Lion City Sailors. He's being given a start here. So it's fascinating to see what sort of what sort of thought process is going behind the decision making of Kim Do-hoon. Glenn Ong, a young 18-year-old coming into central midfield as one of the under-23 players as well. Noor Adam in that left-back position as well. He's been very good. I'm looking forward to seeing him play because he had a bit of a knee injury.
Yeah.
He's coming back to full fitness. So lots of opportunities for some of these players around the park. And of course, Haris Harun that we touched on early on, and his sort of stabilizing influence that he has, that calmness that he'll have in those central midfield positions. It's going to be really interesting to watch. I'm really excited, Colette, about the tactical battle we're about to witness here, and what we're going to see from this first ever Kim Do-hoon sort of lineup in terms of the shape, in terms of what they bring to the game tactically.
Okay, this is one of the biggest games of the season. It's Lion City Sailors. They're away now to the defending champions, Albirex Niigata. That game is coming up right after a short break. Kickoff is to come. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
A very good evening to one and all. We are live here at the Jurong East Stadium. It's Friday night football coming away as match day 12 of the Singapore Premier League is about to get underway. And boy, are we in for a treat tonight. It's first versus second, defending champions versus their closest challengers. It's Albirex Niigata versus Lion City Sailors. Lots to look forward to, and what a way to kick off the weekend. And to make things better, I have former SPL player Rish Roshan Rai here with me. Roshan, what a game to look forward to after such a long break in the league.
Well, Abi, you've introduced us very nicely there. And I mean, we just have a look at the league table coming up as well. And you can see the importance of this game. Just 1 point separating those two sides. Albirex Niigata, still the league's only unbeaten team at the moment. Things very nice and compact. I mean, that top four, there's a real title race going on there, especially with Hougang and Tampines Rovers as well. But our focus is on the here and now between these two teams. And I mean, when you look at the players that are available here, the quality available on display, it's I'm just really excited, Abi. I mean, you talk about Friday night football, nice weather for these guys to go out and play. I think there was a bit of a concern as well.
There was for sure.
You know, it started out really warm, really humid as we were stepping into the stadium, and suddenly rain clouds, dark clouds start to gather over Jurong East Stadium, but thankfully they've cleared, and we're about ready to get things going on time.
As you mentioned, Roshan, good news that the clouds have cleared, and that's allowed us for a great evening, great looking evening actually, for some football, as we expect to see the lineups shortly. Albirex, they have a unchanged backline with the central defense partnership of Kunimoto and Yamashita, who've done so well for them this season. Ong Yin retains his place in midfield after making quite the impression in the first half of the year, and all eyes will be on Ryosuke Nagasawa, who leads the line in place of the injured Suboi, as we await the teams to come out here to that familiar tune of the Singapore Premier League. Tell you what, it's good to have fans back in the stadium, although they've had to be cut short from 250 to 100. But nonetheless, that will add to the excitement that is building here at the Jurong East Stadium. Roshan, your quick thoughts on the Albirex lineup, which we just saw?
Yeah, we were looking at that lineup, and again, we touched on in our build-up to this game the lack of Kiyoshiro Suboi. You lose that threat in those forward positions. So Nagasawa and Taniguchi, I expect to be those players, number 10 and number 7, perhaps to be in those areas. Nagasawa as well could pop up out on these wider positions. Maybe we'll see a surprise here tactically. Maybe either Nicky Melvin Singh or Hong Yu-eun being one of those players supporting Taniguchi in those forward areas. Taniguchi, 3 goals and 4 assists this season. Number 7 is definitely a player to look out for. Number 10, Nagasawa, as I mentioned as well. He's been unlucky in the sense that he picked up an injury very early on in the season, opening match of the season, I think it was. Been out for a while, but he's a very exciting dribbler, lots of quality on the ball. Really looking forward to seeing him having a couple of runs at this Lion City Sailors defense. And then Tezuka and Chiku, very stable. They hold that central midfield very well, rotating at times. Tezuka at times will drop in between Kunimoto and Yamashita to help build that build-up play of Albirex. Chiku can then push on forward. And then Hashioka, of course, we have to mention Hashioka from that right-hand side. Will provide width for Albirex. We're seeing the number 5 right here, the captain of the team. He'll provide the width. He's got 4 assists for this Albirex Niigata side this season, and he will be a big attacking outlet for Albirex.
As we see the coin toss there, Nathan Chan, the man in the middle, he's assisted by Andy Tan and Rida Syed, with Zulfikar Mustafa as our 4th official. As we look to the Sailors lineup, and we can tell you that all eyes will be on national skipper Haris Harun, who makes his debut for the club after joining from Johor Darul Takzim. But the big news are the changes. Kim Do-hoon has shown that he's not afraid to ring in the changes. His $1 million signing, Diego Lopez, and SPL Player of the Year, Gabriel Quack, have been relegated to the bench. That means Adam Swandi earns his first start of the season, alongside Faris Ramli, who's been mainly used as a sub this season. And we'll also see 18-year-old Glenn Ong given the nod in place of the suspended Saifullah Akbar and Shadat Sulaiman, who've been key players for the Sailors this season.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that side, and big surprises here. Again, in our build-up, we touched on Akari getting a rare start, Faris and Adam Swandi as well. I think Shigetomi is looking at the lineup and thinking, well, they've sprung a couple of surprises here. Let's see how they sort of readjust and handle that. Haikal Pasha coming into the starting lineup is great to see. I think he's a very exciting, talented young player. Being given an opportunity. He's also someone who's had a few issues with injuries. Nur Adam Abdullah from that left fullback position, another one who's been a little bit unlucky with an injury here and there. So hopefully these young players will be able to keep those injury issues away, and we'll have a nice decent run of minutes in the team. But Adam Swandi, what an opportunity it is for him. And you're right to point out Diego Lopez and Gabriel Quack being left on the bench. I mean, Kim Do-hoon, a man of his experience, he's already sprung a couple of surprises. I mean, he's obviously seen quite a bit of them in training over the last few weeks to make those decisions.
It takes a lot of bravery to make such a decision, especially when you're coming in. It's your first game. You know that you have $1 million signing in your ranks. He's the league's record signing. As well
$3
as
million
Gabriel Quack.
as well.
Yeah, as well as Gabriel Quack, who's had an incredible 1.5 seasons with the Sailors. I mean, it takes a lot for him to make the decision.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you think about it as well, these options that he has to change things up in the second half. But you know, if things don't go well for them. There'll definitely be questions asked about why he's dropped Gabriel and Diego from the starting lineup. Amiruddin Ashraf, that's another player who's a very talented player who's again been very unlucky over the last 2 years or so with injuries. So it's really good to see him on the bench as we get things underway.
Lion City Sailors playing in the blue and white kits, left to right on the screens, while Albirex are in their familiar orange. And Haris gets stuck in straight away there. What an exciting signing he is. I mean, he's done so much across the causeway with JDT. And it'll be interesting to see what he brings to this team. As we mentioned countless times during this program, the options that Sailors have, any of their players can walk into the starting 11 of any other SPL club.
Yeah, I mean, again, just Haris Harun just early on, very early on, letting Ryusuke Nagasawa know all about him, know what he's about, running very strongly in there. And it wasn't a free kick given against him. It was a good, clean challenge. It's interesting to just have a very quick look at how LCS are lining up here. It looks like it's Haris Harun and Adam Swandi initially out of possession. Just look to be sitting in front of that back line. You've then got Glenn Ong who's pushing forward. On this goal kick here at least, going out into those wider areas for Stipe to try and win it before he then occupies a central position.
We've seen Adam play in that position for the Young Lions, actually in the SEA Games in 2015 under AIA Iskandar, where he played more of a holding role, although he's known for his creativity. A bit unlucky with injuries and opportunities because he was such a bright talent coming up through the systems.
Yeah, another one who's been very unfortunate with injuries, and it's incredible, isn't it? We just seem to be talking about injuries over the first couple of minutes of this match or so. So hopefully these guys have got that out of their systems and are able to get a nice run of minutes. But Adam is a player with really good technical quality, and he's got that ability to play in a few positions in midfield, out wide left as well.
George Philippe not afraid to take a touch off that goal kick, but gives up possession as Hashioka switches play. Sorry, not Hashioka.
Tokiwa switches play to. It's always an outlet, as I mentioned. Those quick diagonals away from the Lion City Sailors' pressure.
Ref allows play to go on. Again, another switch of play there. This time it was, I believe, Ong Iyun who couldn't reach the ball. Albirex at times have looked, they've not looked the force that they have been in the last 2 seasons, but they've managed to grind out results.
But I mean, if people are talking about Albirex not being the force that we've come to expect from Albirex over the last few years, it's still top of the table, still unbeaten. I mean, it says a lot about the quality that they still possess, the organization, levels of fitness. You know, I mean, we look at this team and there've not been too many changes to the starting lineups on a game-by-game basis. It really helps them keep that stability and that structure.
Their backline has remained unchanged for most of the season, as we see Haris again cleaning up, this time higher up the pitch, doing what he does best. As Sailors come down the left flank and earn themselves a throw. Trying to apply the pressure early on here.
Yeah, first time we've really seen Lion City Sailors getting into Albirex's defensive area of the pitch there.
Noradam with the throw. But Stipe caught offside. There was some talk of him being unfit for this clash. But he does make the starting 11 in this game. What a striker he's been in the Singapore Premier League. Both for Sailors and Hougang United, previously Home United as well.
Yeah, he's been Mr. Consistent up front for them, and he's not just the kind of striker who scores goals. He's the kind of player who knows how to set them up for his teammates as well. Big part of their attacking game, not just the 9 goals this season, the 5 assists that he's picked up as well.
Hassan Sani collecting the ball there. was away with the Singapore national team on international duty. Failed to get any minutes under his belt though. He's had a topsy-turvy season this season, Hassan. Making some key mistakes.
Yeah, I think early on the season there were a few errors that led to goals coming from Hassan, but it also seemed to be an issue with the Lion City Sailors in terms of making those errors, giving away easy goals to the opposition. But as the season went on, you see Haris Harun just take the contact into the back there from Yuto Kiwa going down. As the season went on, I think they tightened up, they cut out some of those mistakes. And look, a lot of talk coming into this has been about defense and improving the defense. They've got the same number of clean sheets as Albirex. Both got 4 clean sheets this season. But it's definitely going to be something that Kim Do-hoon is going to have to adjust in his reign here.
Adam with a disappointing free kick into the box. As Albirex come away here.
Nicky Singh.
Yeah. Couldn't quite reach that one. It's been a cagey battle so far as Haris Harun manages to escape the pressure. Adam looks up. Searching ball there. This time it's Glenong who picks it up in the middle of the park. Adam trying to get the give and go with Stipe. Albirex do well to cut it out though. That's Ong Yen who wins his team the foul. Rather wins his team the free kick there. He's had such a good season and he's just 17 years of age.
I think he's been very impressive, Ong Yuan. He just gets crowded out there, takes the contact from Adam Swandi before going down. But he's one of those guys who, when I look at him play, Yuan, he doesn't look overawed by the occasion at all. Yes, a young player, but a young player, I think, starting on merit. He's got incredible quality. You get it into him. He's not afraid to receive in. He's not afraid to receive in tight spaces. He's not afraid to, take the hits if he needs to, and also take on the responsibility of trying to create chances and create opportunities for this Albirex Niigata side.
In the middle, there's Stipe with an obvious nudge in the back. Both teams have shown that they're not afraid to get stuck in, especially in these opening exchanges.
Yeah, there's been a good intensity. You just see Stipe again, just trying to show their aggression. This is a concern once more. Adam Swandi going down, feeling his hamstring. He was clutching at it after that foul on Yuan a little bit earlier.
And this is what we've been talking about, his luck with injuries. Hopefully it's nothing too serious here.
Problem that's struck again for Adam Swandi. Let's hope he's going to be able to continue to carry on. Of course, you don't want to try and aggravate it. It was before this. He was already feeling his hamstring just before this. The earlier foul that he committed on Ong Yuan. I saw him clutching the back of his leg. It's gone off for a bit of treatment. So let's see what the sports trainer, physio, can do for him.
Albirex start from the back. Good ball there from Yamashita. Ong Yuan does well to hold on to the ball. Showing great patience. There's Hashioka once again getting down the flank. The ball goes out into the middle, and that's a great save from Hassan Sani there, who had to sort out his feet.
Big save by Hassan Sani. It was Ryosuke Nagasawa with the shot in the end, and it's Ong Yuan initially that drives forward with the ball, and before releasing, Hashioka pushes in behind the Lion City Sailors defense, straight down the middle, but there's still a save to be made there by Hassan Sani.
Tokiwa, yeah, with the follow-up. Remember, he's a left back, and he was that high up the pitch. Scuffed his shot, really. Albirex sounding off early on here.
Big chance for Albirex Niigata as well early on. In the right down the middle, close towards goal.
Stipe wins the header out to Haris Harun, and the free kick goes the way of the Sailors. Again, another chance for the Sailors to get the ball into the box. They do have Stipe, they do have George Felipe, who scored a header at this. Sailors managed to draw that game 2-2 after going 2 goals down. As we see Akari standing over this one. It's a packed box. 6 players from the Sailors in the opposition penalty box. The ball comes in from Akari. Too deep there. As it goes out for a goal kick there.
Yeah, a bit of a waste on that set piece routine. As you mentioned, got the big guys forward. George Felipe, Amirul Adli as well, getting up there. We're going to see a change here very early on.
Looks like it might be for Adam. Koga launches that goal kick. Haris wins it. Glenn Hong playing it out to Haikal Pasha. Now Adam keeping the ball. Haris looking to spread play, but was crowded out as Albirex retained possession with Yamashita.
Very good closing down by Albirex, especially in those central midfield positions. Very aggressive to close down the spaces. It's not allowing Haris to just get it out into that right-hand side, just to release the ball there.
I'm told Hafiz Noor is set to come on for Adam Swandi. As we see, I think Adam can't carry on. He goes down. The referee's asked for the stretcher. Such a shame for the 25-year-old. As we do see Hafiz Noor, preparing to come on. This was Adam's big chance, especially with the suspensions that the Sailors picked up in key positions. And that might mean a change in game plan, because Hafiz Noor is out of winger, lots of pace.
Well, they're very different types of players, aren't they? Hafiz Noor and Adam Swandi. So we're going to see a bit of a reshuffle here as well, tactically. I think we'll see Hafiz Noor just pop out on the right-hand side. Faris Ramli can comfortably play in behind Stipe Plazibat anyway, with Glenn just dropping into central midfield alongside Haris Harun. You feel for Adam Swandi, you really do. Again, a player who will be really upset. You can see it's such a huge blow for him as well. You mentioned players being suspended, not having too many minutes this season, not many opportunities to start his first start in the league, and then picking up an injury here as well. It's just been incredibly unlucky, Adam. Especially when a new coach comes in, you try and make a big impression, and it can really sort of set you back.
Confirmation there as Hafiz Noor makes his way onto the pitch. Amirul Adli launches it forward in search of Stipe, who somehow flicks it on to Faris Ramli. The referee spotting an infringement there. As Faris earns his team a free kick. Free kick so far for Sailors. This is where they will be missing Sharan Sulaiman, who's been so good on these dead balls, scoring a couple of free kicks as well as putting some good balls in for his team. As Hafiz Noor this time steps up.
But you just see again, the reason why they won that free kick is because of how intense Albirex pressing has been, because of how high up they are pushing against Lion City Sailors. The Sailors, I think, very deliberately are going longer into Stipe Plazibat, who they know can hold up the ball for them, and then it's about picking up those second balls. So they're bypassing the press with those longer passes upfield. And so far, we've seen them get a couple of rewards here in terms of free kicks in decent positions.
Hafiz Noor sends the ball into the box. Easily cleared though. As Tezuka gets the ball away from the danger area. No team has really been able to impose themselves in this opening 15 minutes or so. As Adli picks up the ball in the center circle.
Oh, it's been 15 minutes as it's flown by.
And that it's a suspect back pass there. Hafiz Noor instantly putting pressure. Albirex perhaps a bit lucky to get away with that one. Koga managed to reach the ball. So we see a clash of heads here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ball played in behind, and you're thinking Tokiwa is going to deal with this quite comfortably. He just underhits that pass, and it's credit to Hafiz Noor, who doesn't give up on it. Make sure he puts that pressure on Koga. Just perhaps looking for a teammate in the box, but Koga once again. I mean, we touched on the impact that he has with this Albirex Niigata side on that goalkeeping front. That last line of defense has been very strong, very consistent and stable for them. Great with the ball at his feet as well. So hopefully players who collided are both okay. Looks like they'll be fine.
And it's going to be another Sailors free kick. As we see Glenong just stepping off the pitch. Good to see that both players are okay. Hafiz Noor once again on this free kick. He might go for goal.
I don't know if you picked that up from the pitch side microphones.
An optimistic fan urging Hafiz to take a shot, take a pop at goal. It's just a two-man wall organized by Koga. Hafiz Noor goes for goal. And that's a pretty good free kick, a pretty decent save as well by Koga, who managed to get a strong left hand to it. Perhaps he was a bit unsettled by the swerve of the ball. But assured keeping there from Koga again.
You just have a look at that, and that opening was there. He was sort of inviting Hafiz to have a go.
Disappointing corner there. But it's Glenn who takes a free kick. I mean, sorry, takes a shot. My bad. And it's offside, given Haikal Pasha. Failed to get onside. Again, the deliveries during the set pieces haven't been great for Sailors. And you would think that the dead ball situation is one of their better chances to get a goal against this Albirex side, who have the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I think the deliveries have been a little bit disappointing from the set pieces, but it's a chance for Lion City Sailors here on the counter-attack. If they can find the right ball, it's unfortunate that they just can't quite pick out Haikal Pasha down the left-hand side. But again, good pressing, organized pressing from the Sailors there in that midfield area. As far as Ramli, just looking to play the pass through in behind that Albirex defense. But as I said, if you're going to go with that longer, more direct option, and with Stipe winning you free kicks, deliveries into those areas, if that's a tactic of yours, then you're quite frustrated when you are getting those free kicks, when you are getting those opportunities at corners, that the delivery hasn't quite been good enough.
Well, the positive for the Sailors is that they've largely kept Albirex at bay so far. The home team unable to find the decisive, penetrative pass. As we see Hashioka in familiar territory in the opposition's half, down their right flank. Winning his side a corner kick.
Yeah, pairing of Haikal and Nur Adam there. Just helping each other out, dealing with that threat of Hashioka down that right-hand side.
As Chiku steps up to take this corner kick. He's been a very reliable player for Albirex. And we see a set-piece routine here. Nobody picking up Taniguchi there. And a rather optimistic shot from Hashioka. Very speculative effort. Sailors have got to be careful.
Yeah, I think you're looking at that smile on his face. knows exactly what kind of decision that was to have a crack at goal from that range. Didn't catch it well at all. I mean, you could see his eyes light up as it came into him.
Hardly with a strong header away. Akari landing awkwardly.
It's been quite difficult for Nagasawa to actually really get a foothold in this game so far. They haven't been able to feed it into him. Akari has gone down quite heavily there, right on his lower back. They had to go in bravely. Suke Nagasawa just holding his ground.
It's going to be an important run of matches for Nagasawa, especially with Subo injured. Been told that he'll be out for at least another 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, that is a big blow. Again, and you lose a player of that sort of quality in terms of the goal contribution that he's made. Again, 11 goals, 4 assists for them. Scored 27 goals this season, Albirex, coming into this match. When you lose a player like that who's made such a huge contribution up front, you've got to try and find other ways, but you don't have, obviously, a player of his quality, his profile. So Shigetomi, you know, earning his wages, having to find solutions for this Albirex Niigata side. It seems that one of his attempts at finding a solution here is to put Nicky Melvin Singh up front as that centre forward, with Taniguchi playing in behind him.
George Felipe cutting out the danger, but Albirex still have the ball. Suzuka pushing up. As we see Yamashita with the crossfield pass. Straight at Akari though. Albirex really like to spread the opponents out, moving that back line before trying to find that pass in the middle.
Something that they'll be really used to as well. You know, when you look at the teams that they come up against when they are in possession, most sides that they're up against tend to at times sit back against them, as we're seeing here in certain situations. Lion City Sailors sitting back in a 4-4-2 in their own half. So Albirex, you know, you move the ball to move the opposition, and you're going to try and shift that Lion City Sailors defense around to create these spaces for those diagonals out into Tokiwa or out to Hashioka, and then you try and create those central spaces if you can. Maybe finding the likes of Taniguchi in between the lines, or Nagasawa as he drops in from that left-hand side. Let's have a look at Tezuka, the number 3 player, who's been, for me, very impressive for them.
As you mentioned, he was a centre-back, but he's been pushed into midfield, and he's done well for the White Swans as Stipe plays it out to Akari. Akari finds Faris Ramli down the right flank, who sends the ball in. Deep ball. Hashioka taking no chances with that one, putting out for touch.
Yeah, it just gives them an opportunity to get themselves reorganized here.
No, Adam, just 20 years of age, and has proven his worth this season. Previously from Young Lions, of course. George Felipe with a thunderous header there. And the Sailors win themselves a corner. Again, another set piece. The boys in blue will be hoping that this time it's a good delivery. As we see George Felipe up there. Haikal Pasha trying to make a nuisance of himself, standing in front of Koga. He's not sending it in, and there's George Felipe who wins the header. Albirex deal with that threat again, but there George Felipe showing just what he's capable of at the near post. This time it's Stipe who uses his hand to control the ball, pleads his innocence. George Felipe is such a big unit.
Yeah, big threat in those set-piece situations, but the setup here was interesting for me. From the Lion City Sailors, they almost had a bit of a a diamond in there with Haris Harun looking to just try and attack the back post. Georges Philippe, of course, attacking the front post. Stipe starting off in a deeper position with Haikal Pasha just standing in front of Koga. He's trying to make a nuisance of himself. Almost paid off for the Lion City Sailors there. Got a much better delivery into the box on that corner. That time is a bit of space for Chiku now. Tuzuka pushing forward there before they eventually got crowded out down that left-hand side.
Haris, time to look up. Searching ball for Faris Ramli. There's Georges Philippe once again winning the ball in the air. This is Hafiz Noor with space to run into. Plays it out to Stipe, who is unable to control that. Glenong spreads the ball out to Akari. Looks up again, looks for this time. It's Haikal Pasha on the right flank. Team cross. But it's the Sailors still in possession until Yamashita claimed the ball there as far as Ramli thought of a bicycle kick. Foul still given. As both teams head back to the dugout for the mandatory water break. It's been a really humid day here. What are your thoughts so far, Roshan, after
I think
the first half of the first half?
Well, we're seeing quite a clear pattern of play. Initially, really good intensity. Both these sides were going at it first 5 minutes or so, and then we started to see Albirex getting more of that possession, holding on to it a little bit more. Lion City Sailors just dropping off into that 4-4-2, sitting back into their own half a little bit, and kind of saying to Albirex, look, you can have it in those deeper positions. You want to try and be patient. You want to pass it out the back in those areas. Fine, you can have it. But the moment you try and look for those switches, we're going to close you down very quickly in those wider areas. And they've done really well for the most part. I think aside from Nagasawa, who had a big opportunity for Albirex to open the scoring, aside from that chance, good save by Hassan Sani on that occasion. Aside from that chance, they've really sort of limited Albirex Niigata. Yes, Albirex have had a lot of the ball, but they've not really done too much with it. And still plenty of time to go here. And I think for Lion City Sailors, what we're seeing from them is that pragmatism almost coming into it. We're not going to try and play under that pressure that Albirex are going to apply on us here. We're just going to go longer. We're going to try and bypass that pressing. We'll win it in the air up front. Then we'll be very quick to try and win the second balls, pick up set pieces, and try and see if we can hurt Albirex in those situations.
That takes a lot of discipline because the players need to hold their shape and stick together, and they've done extremely well so far.
Again, it's another opportunity for Koga. I'm just looking off the screen here to step forward as one of the extra players as Albirex try to string an attack together here. Coming out to Kunimoto down this left side into Taniguchi.
Albirex, for the first time in the game, have found some space in front of the penalty box as Amrul Adli does well to shepherd the ball out. Tussling with Nagasawa, but holds his ground.
What they did really well there is they kept their composure in that situation. Lion City Sailors on the defensive front. Albirex just trying to step up through the gears. You could see the tempo of the passes got quicker. They were able to find Taniguchi in that bit of space in front of Lion City Sailors' defense. Just looking to play Nagasawa in. Amirul read the danger very early on, got himself across and snuffed it out. See the cries of the players. Badan, use your body. And that's exactly what he did.
Taniguchi playing it out to Ong Yuen, who has some space ahead of him. But Noradam does well to recover. And it's Hashioka at the byline, sends the ball in. Unfortunately, there was nobody who reacted quick enough. Hashioka is such a threat going down the right flank.
Plenty of power and pace to his game, Hashioka, and always looking to try and use it where he can.
That looked like the foul throw to me as Albirex retained possession. Good skill from Chiku. The ball sent into the box, and it's George Felipe who gets it away again.
You know, you touched on foul throw, and it's one of these, I wouldn't call it a pet peeve, but it's one of these things that I notice in the professional game, and they rarely get pulled out by referees for foul throws. But in the in the development leagues, when you're growing up, you always get pulled out by a referee.
Maybe the referees have too much to do in the professional leagues.
Other things to worry about and focus on. I guess the development, that's where, you know, you're supposed to learn how to take a throw in properly. Anyway.
Haris, wayward pass there. So we see Kunimoto and Yamashita. Both have been very stable for Albirex this season. Koga steps up. And you don't always get to see it in your shot, but Koga plays almost as a sweeper.
Yep.
For Albirex. That's how confident they are as Hashioka comes away. Looks up, sends another ball in. Adli was in the right position, right place to snuff it out.
Well, the build-up to that was excellent by Albirex down the right-hand side. We see Haris Harun. We'll come back to that in a bit as Haris Harun gets a bit of space to work with. That's another pass that he's put too much on. But just that build-up down the right-hand side from Albirex once again. You just saw Yuen and Hashioka just rotating their positions. Tezuka being that link player. And they just you know, made Lion City Sailors defenders just chase a few shadows there in that situation. Wonderful one-touch football to break a deep defensive block, and that's one of the ways you can do it. Very quick passing and movement.
This time Albirex go long. Nathan Chan spots a foul. So far, the defensive partnership of George Felipe and Amrul Adli, they've done well in dealing with the balls that Albirex send their way. Ball played to Nagasawa, who finds some space at the edge of the box, goes for goal. But that's a great save from Hassan Sani. Once again showing why he's one of the top keepers in Singapore. Albirex finally had space to exploit, and Nagasawa going for goal from outside the box. Great save from Hassan.
Well, just keep an eye on the movement again from Albirex Niigata if you get a chance here. Just have a look at the running off the ball. That creates a bit of space for Nagasawa. What he actually had was Nicky Melvin Singh had dropped off into a deeper position and then continued on. Akari had actually tracked Nagasawa, but because of that run from Nicky Melvin Singh, was able to create a bit of space for Nagasawa to work with.
The corner goes out to Taniguchi, who tried to win another corner. But the ball rolls out for a goal kick. That's twice now Nagasawa has had the opportunity to break the deadlock. Both times he was thwarted by Hassan Sani. I mean, despite the criticism he might receive, Hassan is a top goalkeeper.
I know, he certainly is. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But look, you can be a great player, you can be a fantastic player, one of the world's best. You still make mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with that. You learn and you develop from there, and you try and correct those errors if you can. And it's a credit to him in the sense that he doesn't hide. You know, all that experience and all that quality that he has. You know, he keeps wanting to put himself out there, being strong for the team, and he makes some really important saves for Lion City Sailors. So absolutely, he's a top quality goalkeeper.
Disappointing ball from Akari. Sailors looking for those runs behind the defense. As Albirex once again on the ball, prodding away, looking for that final pass that might open up this stubborn Sailors defense. As Noradam comes away with it. Here's the 20-year-old lofting it forward. Stipe trying to play down the path of Haikal Pasha.
Yeah, you know, one of the things Kim Do-hoon will not be happy about is the sloppiness in the passing from the Lion City Sailors. I mean, too many occasions in this first half where they've let easy passes go. They've given it back to Albirex, and it's been very straightforward for Albirex to win back possession that high up, that close to Lion City Sailors' goal.
Albirex, of course, the only unbeaten side in the SPL this season. As we see Chiku stand over this free kick.
I've got a couple of players on the back post here. Two central defenders, Yamashita and Kunimoto in there.
Oh, it's a great looking ball in, and then another chance for Albirex there. This time it's Kunimoto who crept up at the back post. Albirex must be kicking themselves because that's the third opportunity they've had this half where they could have broken the deadlock.
Another big chance, and again, it's the delivery from Chiku is excellent, but it makes its way all the way through towards the back post there, where Kunimoto and Yamashita were waiting. And on this occasion, it's Kunimoto. Hassan Sani, I tell you what, we talk about him making big saves. There he is once again.
It's a free header for Albirex. Unable to convert it though, as George Felipe gets it away. Stipe battling for the ball and winning his side a throw. As we approach the final 10 minutes of the first half, Albirex with the better chances so far. And they've been shut out by Hassan Sani.
Well, listen, I'd say much better chances as well. Great opportunities. You know, you go back to Nagasawa, that one earlier on, and then this recent one from Kunimoto. Yes, there was that Nagasawa shot from range as well. Hassan Sani, he certainly kept the Lion City Sailors in this game. So just try and release Faris down this right-hand side. Sliding challenge coming across.
Faris looking to turn, but Kunimoto as well. Albirex with the throw in now. Amr Adli asking too much of Hafiz Noor there. You could see what he was trying to do. As we see Kim Do-hoon in your shot. What do you think his takeaways are from this first half here?
Looking like few early signs of a lack of cohesion, which perhaps is not that surprising. It's a bit of a misunderstanding among some of the players in terms of the runs that are expected from them and the passes that are being played. See a ball being played over the top here for Hashioka.
Hashioka sends the ball in this time. Again, Hassan Sani composed as he launches one forward in search of Haikal Pasha. Too long though. Albirex slowly growing into the game, putting the Sailors under pressure. And Yen unable to keep the ball in. This is Glenn Ong with options ahead of him. Chooses Stipe, who loses the ball. It's Tezuka, cross-field pass. Nicky Melvin Singh unable to reach that one.
Actually, his run off that forward line wasn't bad, Nicky Melvin Singh. He was actually looking to just play off the shoulder of Amirul Adli. He wanted it into a narrow position rather than as wide as Tezuka delivered that ball. Immediately, Tezuka, the number 3, putting his hand up to apologize to Nicky Melvin Singh.
Deep Ball in as Stipe plays that first time. Faris takes it down. He has Havisnor to his right. He opts for Stipe, who miscontrols the ball there. And that's a disappointing pass, allowing Ong Yuen to try and come away with it. George Felipe taking no prisoners with that clearance.
Somebody's going home with a free SPL match ball. Look, Felipe, I think on an individual level, he's been fantastic for Lion City Sailors. And I think for the most part, Amirul Adli as well. Two central defenders on that individual front. They've done what they've needed to do well. They've been there to clear balls, get them out from the dangerous areas, put in these sliding challenges, put their heads in there, get those long passes out and away.
As we find Kunimoto in an advanced position. Good ball to Taniguchi, who goes for goal. Ambitious effort. I think there's a deflection there, and Hassan comfortably picks it up in his box. Albirex once again showing great movement when they are in possession. The Sailors still unable to really hold on to the ball. And they would be disappointed with that, especially with the quality they have in their ranks. The likes of Haris, the likes of Faris. As we see Hashioka. Again, Hashioka finds himself down the byline, the right flank. The ball is sent into the box. Akari, can he deal with it? Suzuki sends in a great ball. Haris there to make the clearance. And it's important that Lion City Sailors hold the line. Oh, what a save there by Hassan. Once again, Hassan Sani coming to the rescue of the Sailors. Their defense looked in shambles there.
Incredible. That's an incredible save by Hassan Sani. But have a look at this once again. So 6s and 7s here. Again, it's Albirex Niigata. Good strong hold-up play by Nicky Melvin Singh there. Comes back off the post, but have a look at this one. The way he reacts to that. And those saves for goalkeepers close to your feet can be very difficult to make. He gets down so quickly, Hassan Sani, in that situation to just thwart the danger. LCS living very dangerously here in this first half.
Albirex finally finding those gaps in the Sailors' defense. They're just unable to convert, and that's been largely down to the heroics of Hassan Sani, who's done ever so well. Well, halftime couldn't come any quicker for the Sailors, who need to regroup, because you would assume that they would crumble under this constant pressure from Albirex. Taniguchi playing it to Tezuka, who does well at the center of the park. The free kick goes the way of Albirex, much to the dismay of the Lion City Sailors fans. Hashioka, good looking ball there. Finds Tokiwa. And the ball goes out to the edge of the box. But it's Faris Ramli who comes away with it. He has Stipe in front of him. It's 2 versus 3 here. Faris Ramli with a great turn. Will he go all the way on his own? He tries to. But Albirex recover. Courtesy of Nagasawa, who tracks back brilliantly to thwart that danger.
Well, just again, you're seeing opportunities for Lion City Sailors in those counter-attacking situations. They're able to get players back in that defensive transition with Albirex.
Yamashita, great dummy there from Taniguchi. Looking for the return pass, but George Felipe steps up. Haikal Pasha in possession. Unable to win the throw. Great footwork from Ong Yen. Albirex looking more and more comfortable here as Takiwa plays it forward to Nagasawa. There's a give and go. Oh, is that a penalty? The ref has pointed to the spot. Nathan Chan giving the penalty.
Yeah, I think it was Akari that was caught out there in that situation, just fouling Tokiwa on the underlapping run inside, linking up with Nagasawa. Well, I think he's saying the attacker ran into him rather than the other way around. But look, it's Albirex who's been in the ascendancy. It's definitely something they've deserved. You just have a look again at how quickly they've moved the ball, how they've gone up through the gears, and how quickly they've shifted it forward in between the lines and just created that space with the combination of Nagasawa and Tokiwa down that left-hand side. Now let's see if Hassan can come up with even more heroics here to keep LCS in this game. This game that probably should have been done and dusted by halftime. Not for some good goalkeeping by Hassan and perhaps on the other side of the coin, some poor finishing by Albirex. But Taniguchi going to step up for this one.
Right at the stroke of halftime, Albirex with the chance to break the deadlock here. And the responsibility falls on the shoulders of Taniguchi. Angled run up. And Hassan Sani manages to reach it, but it still goes in. Taniguchi with his 4th goal of the season from the spot this time to give Albirex the advantage just before halftime. Just to confirm that the 4th official has indicated 3 minutes of added time. Pardon me. Yeah, you see the penalty again.
I tell you what, Hassan gets a hand to that one as well. He almost kept it out. It was a good height for him. Taniguchi, eyes on the goalkeeper all the way through, just enough power on that to get it past Hassan eventually. But he almost came up with the big save once again, LCS goalkeeper. And look, it's a lead that they deserve. They've been the much better side in this opening half of this match. Sailors haven't been in it at all. Really struggled to get any momentum going with their passing game. Defensively, they've just allowed Albirex Niigata to play through them a little bit too easily. It's going to be interesting to see what sort of changes Kim Do-hoon makes at halftime. They've already made that one change, that injury-enforced substitution with Hafiz Noor coming in for Adam Swandi. So that kind of limits his options a little bit. But you'd like to see someone like a Diego Lopez coming in. He's got someone who's got that ability to hang on to the ball for them. Because that's been something they've struggled with in this first half. They've not been able to keep the ball for long enough.
Well, this team talk could change depending on the outcome of this free kick. Deep in added time. There's Hafiz Noor. And Noor Adam stand over this free kick. It is Hafiz who sends it in. Stipe unable to flick it on. Michael Pasha brings it down, but Albirex are able to clear the lines. It's Glenong playing it back to Hassan Sane. And referee Nathan Chan blows for half-time. An entertaining first half here at the Jurong East Stadium. Albirex Niigata creating, as Roshan mentioned, much of the better chances so far. As you see, confirmation of the score at halftime. It's Albirex Niigata 1, courtesy of a Taniguchi penalty. Lion City Sailors 0. Stay tuned as Colette Wong and Roshan Rai run through the first half highlights, and that's coming up after the break.
A very warm welcome back. We are live at the Jurong East Stadium. I'm Colette Wong with Rish Roshan Rai. What a beautiful evening it's turned out to be. The rain has stayed away. There has been some glimmer of lightning in the distance, but so far, so good. And so far, so good for Albirex Niigata as well, because they have the halftime lead, 1-0 over the Lion City Sailors. And it might have been an even bigger difference, Roshan, had it not been for the heroics of Hassan Sani.
Look, he's been incredible in goal for them. This is a big chance that makes its way through into Nagasawa here. And yes, you could say it's hit straight down the middle, but there's still a save to be made there. There's always two ways to look at it. Poor finishing, good goalkeeping, mixture of the two. Well, they're just carving them open at the moment, Albirex Niigata. It took them a bit of time to sort of try and find a rhythm, but then, once they got that passing and movement game going, they were able to really break through at ease. And some of the set-piece situations for the Lion City Sailors have been a little bit poor on this occasion. Hafiz Noor just being invited to have a crack at goal there on the wall side, but Koga makes a comfortable enough save in that situation. As we see Georges Philippe looking to try and flick that one on at the near post. The setup here from the Lion City Sailors was pretty interesting. A better delivery this time from Hafiz Noor. Just looking to try and find Haris at the back post there. He couldn't quite put that in the back of the net on that occasion. Yeah,
Lion City Sailors, when they get into the final third of the pitch, they seem to lack creative ideas once they get there.
Yeah, I think that's something that Kim Do-hoon is going to have to look to address, in that halftime break, because the quality on the ball in terms of their passing, it's been very sloppy. But again, you have a look at the difference in the play as well. Albirex once more down that right-hand side with Hashioka linking up. They just rotate positions with Ong Yuen. Lovely one-touch give and go there between Hashioka and Tezuka. Amirul Adli. I think him and Georges Philippe have actually done pretty well on that individual front, the individual level. Have a look here at this run that Nicky Melvin Singh makes. That number 29, he just takes away Akari number 7, and that creates that space for Nagasawa to have that shot at goal here. Again, it's a nice flying save by Hassan Sani in that situation. Yeah,
it was just coming at them thick and fast for the Lion City Sailors in defense. Here's Kunimoto, number 35, and oh my goodness, you see his head in his hands there.
Yeah, again, it's Hassan Sani who tracks the ball all the way across towards that back post, and he comes up with another big save. Huge opportunity for Albirex, and you can see he's creating chance after chance, but have a look at this one.
Yeah.
It comes off the post. As it comes back out here to Taniguchi, who has that shot, how quickly does Hassan Sani get down to save that, to palm it away from goal? I mean, again, it's one of the difficult saves for goalkeepers to make when the shot is close to your feet, because you've got to shift your feet really quickly in that situation and get down very fast, and he does that well. But they've had warning after warning after warning. And Tokiwa here linking up with Nagasawa down that left-hand side, a give and go, that underlap on the inside here. Have a look at this. Akari's just got a little bit ball watching on the wrong side of Tokiwa. On the wrong side of Tokiwa, and he gives away the penalty. There's no doubt in my mind, 100% it's a penalty there. Referee as well was very confident in making that decision. And even here, it looked like Hassan Sani might have gotten enough of an arm on that. Not quite strong enough. There's enough pace from Taniguchi to get his 4th goal of the season and give Albirex a deserved lead.
Absolutely, it is a deserved lead for Albirex Niigata, who had more shots on goals. Lion City Sailors, as we mentioned, when they get into the final third, just run out of ideas. As we take a look at the stats, if we can bring them up, I'm sure we'll see the domination of Albirex Niigata over Lion City Sailors.
Yeah, look, it's incredible. And what you don't get there is the chance quality. And the chance quality from Albirex has been very good. It's been very high. It should be more than the 1 goal. And in fact, I think Lion City Sailors, if you're Kim Do-hoon, on the bench there, you're thinking, geez, we've not been good in this opening 45.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try and bring it into the halftime break on level terms. But look, you want to try and adjust the fact that they've not been good enough with the ball in those situations, Colette. They've not shown the right sort of quality. I'm interested to see what sort of changes they make at halftime.
I think we have... no, we don't. We don't have any time for one last question. We have to go to a break because we've got the second half coming up. But do stay with us. We've got a riveting 45 minutes of football still to come live from the Jurong East Stadium.
Welcome back to the Jurong East Stadium as we await the second half of this clash between Albirex Niigata and Lion City Sailors. Confirmation of your halftime score. It's Ryoya Taniguchi who managed to get a goal via a penalty deep in stoppage time. As we have confirmation that there will be substitutions by both teams ahead of the second half. Rosha, what do you make of the teams in general, and more specifically actually Haris Harun, who's returned to the league after 7 years?
Well, I think he's put in a couple of strong challenges on the defensive front, Haris Harun, but it's been a real struggle, not just for him, but for the entire Lion City Sailors side to really get any sort of passing rhythm or rhythm with the ball going. You know, they've given the ball away too cheaply on several occasions, and there were many warning signs Albirex were giving them, you know, creating chance after chance and dangerous opportunity after dangerous opportunity. Thankfully for them, they had Hassan Sani in good form. Otherwise, this game would have been done and dusted by halftime. So you're looking at the changes that they're going to be making soon. And one of the things I pointed out was the lack of having that player to keep the ball, keep a hold of the ball in those positions. And you know, it wouldn't surprise me to see someone like Diego Lopez perhaps coming on to change things up for them, because he will have that presence, he will have that ability to hang on to the ball in difficult situations under pressure.
Well, just as you said, we see Diego Lopez on your screens as he prepares to come on. We understand that he's coming on for Glenn Ong, confirmation there of the Brazilian's introduction into the game, and a bit to add some much needed creativity. And there's confirmation of Albirex's substitution as well. It's Mahiru Takahashi who's come in for Ong Yuen, who had a decent first half, to be fair. As we see both teams prepare for another 45 minutes of battle. This obviously the clash of the top two teams in the SPL. Lion City Sailors just 1 point behind Albirex, and this is the perfect chance for them to actually go ahead in the league with 10 games to go. You feel that whichever team takes the win here will go on to win the SPL title, and we need to see a much better performance from the boys in blue in the second half. As Nicky Melvin Singh steps up to get us underway. Great to see fans back in the stadium as well. We have about 100 spectators allowed under the current COVID regulations. And the first order of business is to put the ball out for a throw.
What it does there as well is that it immediately allows Albirex to then apply that high pressure onto Lion City Sailors, not allowing them to play out in these situations. Just looking at Nicky Melvin Singh, just that kickoff there, and he's someone had a pretty good first half. I thought, you know, holding the ball up for them at times, making some intelligent runs off the ball to create spaces for his teammates, which sometimes doesn't get enough credit for, that movement off the ball.
Now Adam heading the other way as we see Diego Lopez with his first involvement of the game. Diego Lopez has had a decent start to life in the Singapore Premier League. Came in with much fanfare, and he's managed 5 goals and 4 assists so far. What have you made of the Brazilians' contributions for the Sailors this season, Roshan?
Yeah, I think on that individual front, you can see his obvious quality. I mean, if you're coming into the SPL from the Portuguese league, you expect a certain level of play. That's wonderful skills.
Akari finally managing to snuff that one out as he dives in for the challenge, and his side win a goal kick. Akari conceding that penalty right at the death of half-time there earlier in the game today.
Yeah, and again, it was Nagasawa on that occasion, skipping past a couple of challenges. It was a wonderful dribble off the ball. first real opportunity, I think, in this game that we've actually seen him get a nice run at the defenders. He has been very lively. He's gotten himself into good positions to finish off chances. He hasn't taken his big chance that he had early on in the first half.
The Sailors with another throw in here. Down that right-hand side. I think for the first time in a long time we've seen a foul throw given. Roshan, they must have heard you earlier.
Yeah, they must have had the footage on there. Perhaps the fourth official is listening in, saying, guys, please call the foul throws. Oh, it's a good, strong challenge by Hafiz Noor, and he wins it back for his side.
Hafiz Noor still on the ball. Stretches to try and win it back, but gives away the free kick instead. Hafiz Noor with lots of pace to burn. Can be a real asset in your team if utilized the right way. He's been unable to really break into the starting 11 of the Sailors this season.
Yeah, he didn't get many minutes under Aurelio Vidmar, but with a new coach coming in, always an opportunity for you to prove something to the new man in charge. And it looks like, he's not afraid to make some big decisions, leaving Gabriel Kwak and Diego Lopez on the bench. Giving starts to the likes of Adam Swandi, Faris Ramli and Akari at right back.
A new coach for the Sailors, of course, means that every player starts on a clean slate. Roshan, could you tell us how important is it for Kim Do-hoon to keep all these personalities in check in the dressing room, especially because many of them are national players and will be gunning for minutes under their belts? How do you keep everyone happy in the squad like that?
Yeah, you look. That's why he gets paid the big bucks to keep these players happy. You've got to make sure that the players understand that message, that it needs to be about the collective. You're obviously going to have players who won't fall in line with that, and then you find an opportunity when you can to get them out of the squad if you need to,
Oh, symbolic defending from the Sailors, yeah. As it's the substitute, Takahashi, who got a shot away. Too close to Hassan Sani on that occasion. But a bit of a mix-up at the back. And this was exactly what you were talking about, Roshan, earlier. About the Sailors needing to tighten the defense. Meanwhile, at the other end of the pitch, Diego Lopez with space, with Hafiz Noor to his right. He finds Faris Ramli. The shortest point is Stipe, looking for that far corner. Couldn't tell if that was a shot or a cross, actually, across goal. But that was a golden opportunity for the Sailors to pull level.
Well, again, a swift counter-attack from Lion City Sailors here. It actually is a shot from Faris Ramli. The deflection just falls away of Stipe Plazibat. But just to go back to your question about how he keeps the players happy, and ultimately as well, it's about respecting.
Oh, Nicky Melvin Singh beats George Felipe for pace there. Perhaps a little bit unlucky. George Felipe using his experience to shepherd the ball out.
He just gets just flicked on there, and George Felipe just loses his footing a little bit. Hassan Sani has got to come rushing out, and it's a big opportunity once again for Nicky Singh on this occasion to extend the lead for Albirex. Oh. Chances coming thick and fast, not allowing me to make my point about making sure the players in the squad, that all of them are respected. You're speaking to all of them. You don't leave anyone out. Even if they're not playing, even if they might not feature in your plans, that respect is really, really important.
Albirex with another chance to put the Sailors' defense under pressure here. Nervy few minutes for the Sailors, who've looked shaky after a pretty decent opening 20 minutes where the defense held up. But it seems to be heading downhill for their backline since then. The ball goes in deep. Hassan Sani claims it comfortably. Early ball out to Diego Lopez. And that's the quality you get from the Brazilian. Great touch. just unable to shake off the two defenders who were on him.
Yeah, sure, great touch, but have a look at Albirex and how quickly they get players back into that defensive position, that attitude, that mentality to make sure you get back goal side, try and win the ball, try and snuff out that counter attack. And on that occasion, it was a combination of Takahashi and Tokiwa. Done enough to just take the ball off the toes of Diego Lopez, forced him into committing a foul.
George Felipe manages to find his compatriot here as Diego Lopez trying to hold up the ball. George Felipe has got to watch out for that sudden burst from Nicky Melvin Singh, who's shown that he is willing to gamble on the second balls. No Adam making a mistake down the flank.
Yeah, again, this is that lack of cohesion, that perhaps a few nerves coming in, trying to impress the new man in charge. This passing out has been very sloppy, and they just don't look like they're really in it here. Some of the Sailors players, you can see some of the heads dropping this a little bit.
There's a little bit of frustration creeping into everyone's game as Haris concedes that foul. Been less than 10 minutes and it's been all Albirex so far, except for that Stipe chance a little early on. Chiku sends the ball into a dangerous area, but the referee has blown his whistle. Albirex reorganize. Sansani with a good ball to Hafiz Noor, who was caught in two minds there. As we see Faris Ramli, intelligent play from the Singapore international just to get that contact as he went down, getting aside an important free kick in a dangerous area. So important for them to put a good ball in.
Yeah, distribution out into Hafiz Noor initially was very good from Hassan. Hafiz Noor, as you said, two minds a little bit as to whether to flick it on, to take it on his chest. Decided to keep a hold of it. It's good that he did. Was able to link up with Faris, who won the free kick. So for a good delivery here. We've got Amirul Adli just floating around on the edge of the box, looking to just peel away from his marker. There's a bit of an overload at the back post.
Hafiz Noor sends the ball in. Koga with a strong, confident punch. Akari trying to get the ball back in first time. Completely mistimed his kick. As Koga said, no rush to take the goal kick. The Sailors need to get into some sort of rhythm here. Haris finding Diego Lopez, who has space in front of him. Peeling away under the close attention of Chiku, puts a decent ball in.
That's all right, that's better. He's given them a bit more of a presence in those advanced positions. He said the ability to just hang on to it. He's trying to create something, trying to make something happen in those attacking areas. We know he has that individual quality to make things happen. It's a good strong challenge by Chiku there, just to take the ball off the toes of Haris Harun.
Ball going out to Takahashi, but expertly shepherded by Noor Adam. But it's a poor clearance as Taniguchi finds himself in the penalty box. Noor Adam rectifies his earlier mistake. The 20-year-old who's missed 6 games this season due to injury. Diego Lopez. The ball forward to Stipe, who still, or almost had it there. You see Diego showing great urgency. He'll be keen to impress his new manager after being dropped. But he does have 45 minutes to impress his new boss, as we see No Adam playing it down the flank to Haikal Pasha. Taniguchi perhaps a tad bit over-eager to win the ball back. Statistically, Albirex, the side who've recovered the ball in the opponent's half the most so far in the SPL this season.
Well, it's no surprise when you look at the way they're pressing in and harrying here. From the off, every time there's a pass backwards, it's an invitation to go out and press. And that's the cue for them to go out and put the opposition under pressure. Going backwards, going out into those wider positions, go and press. There's poor control, poor touch in central midfield, go and press and win it back. And they press with lots of intensity. And as a collective, you're always seeing lots of players going together, making sure they're nice and compact as a unit.
No Adam finding some joy on the left. Haris, who's playing in a rather central position now. You see the Sailors in a much more advanced position in the second half. For the first time, it's Amrul Adli sends the ball in. Diego Lopez unable to reach it. I think it's the first time that we've seen the Sailors hold on to the ball for a bit.
Yeah, need to do a little bit more of that now. Lion City Sailors. Hopefully they'll give the players a little bit more confidence and grow a little bit from nice little moves like that. You know, you can get a bit of encouragement in the game as it goes on.
Nagasawa finding Tezuka, lofted pass in. You can see the idea behind that pass. But Hassan Sani does well to step out of the danger.
You know, the speed at which Albirex moved the ball, it makes it just incredibly difficult to defend, difficult to really deal with. You know, you can set yourself up in a block, but you just can't chase one and two touch passes. If you're able to move the ball that quickly, you just can't keep up with that. Ultimate makes Albirex so dangerous, and the individual quality on the ball, yes, but the tactical cohesion around the players in possession as well.
Well, I've been told that there's some movement on the Sailors bench. Gabriel Quack is expected to come in as No Adam sends the ball in. There's Hafiz Noor. Well thwarted there by Tokiwa. As we're ready to see the substitution, it's the SPL Player of the Year, Gabriel Quack, who's coming on for Haikal Pasha. Gabriel's had a great season so far with the Sailors. 8 goals and 3 assists. And his first contribution will be this corner kick. The deliveries have been disappointing. Let's see if that changes with the introduction of the left-footed winger. Looking for the near post, easily dealt with, but the ball falls out to Faris Ramli. Couldn't get a shot away. The free kick has gone the way of the Sailors though, right outside the penalty box. A position that Sharan Sulaiman has scored twice from this season. And it's looked like they've missed his quality on the dead ball situations. I think Diego Lopez has stepped up and said he wants to take this. Brazilian has already scored a memorable goal against Hougang. That looping volley. Can he add one more to his highlight reel? As we see Koga organizing his wall. Koga was of course tested by Hafiz Noor in the first half from a free kick further out.
You get Gabriel as the option on the left foot here, and just gives Koga something to think about. Make sure the angles are covered in that situation. He takes quite a bit of a central starting position there. So free kick looks to be coming in. We've got an Albirex player kneeling down behind the wall.
It's a trend that we've seen recently.
Yeah, it allows the wall to jump, and it gives you that extra bit of protection if it is a bit of a grass cutter.
All eyes on Diego Lopez here. It's Diego Lopez, disappointing free kick. But the second ball comes to Haris Harun. Who couldn't direct the ball onto goal. A lot of power behind that shot. As we see the replay here.
Well, just blocked off by the bodies that they've got in there. Albirex defenders, Haris running onto it. You can see why he's tried to have a shot at goal. Sees the space open up for it in front of him. But really, when you just have a look at the number of shots there, 12 to Albirex, 5 to the Lion City Sailors, and lots of those Albirex opportunities, those shots have been really good chances, really good opportunities. Just Josh Felipe getting his shorts pulled by Kim Melvin Singh.
Josh Felipe clearly not happy.
Asking for the yellow card there, and the referee saying he saw the incident. Well, obviously he did, otherwise he wouldn't have blown the free kick. Blown for the free kick.
Interesting battle, that one. As we see Faris running at the Albirex defense. He goes down looking for the free kick. Doesn't get it though. Albirex confident enough to play it out from the back. As we see how quickly the White Swans transition from defense to attack here. The ball out to Nicky Melvin Singh, who has space for the shot. A rather tame effort though. Hassan Sani with one of the easier saves he's had to make tonight. But once again, the Sailors' defense has been breached, perhaps too easily.
Well, you just seen that situation again. It's a great example. You just look at the bodies that Albirex are able to get forward so quickly. The intensity that they play at, the tempo that they play at. You know, it goes up. There's a long ball launched. It's won in the air by Georges Philippe, for example. Boom, second ball. The midfielders are right up there. The attackers are right up there, joining in. And that ability to perform these repeated sprints, repeated running at a good tempo, at a good pace. And look, the angle on that occasion for that shot against Nicky Melvin Singh was really going to be very difficult for him to beat Hassan Sani from that angle. But look, just showing you here that intensity that they play to deal with in the league.
Hafiz Noor unable to keep the ball in though, as they win a throw though. It's Stipe Plazibat holding up the ball, trying to find Faris Rumley, who had made the run across the penalty box. Earns aside a corner, as Albirex, I understand, are preparing to make another substitute. This time it's Kuraba Kondo who's preparing to come on. Kondo has impressed this season. So we see the corner kick from Hafiz Noor. It's an outswinger. It's Georges Felipe rising for that. Haris spreads it out to Hafiz Noor, who has another chance to send the ball in. He gets it up to the back post. Diego Lopez knocking it down for Faris Rumley. Perhaps he would have preferred if Stipe was the man furthest up front there. Substitution here for Albirex Niigata. Nicky Melvin Singh is coming off for Kuraba Kondo. Nicky Melvin Singh has put in a pretty decent shift, Roshan.
Yeah, 66 minutes under his belt. It's been a good shift by Nicky Melvin Singh, as he said. I think he's worked very hard in those advanced positions. Just trying to make a nuisance of himself when he can. Willing runner off the ball as well. Kuraba Kondo, again, a very different type of player, comes in.
No, Adam.
And it has started to rain here at the Jurong East Stadium as well.
Lion City Sailors with yet another free kick.
See even more of a zip off the surface when that artificial surface is watered. Ball moves even quicker. Could be potential for a couple of mistakes even. Just trying to readjust to the bounce of the ball.
Gabriel Quagg weighing out his options in the box. The 7 Sailors boys in the box there. It's a free header for Diego Lopez. Koga opts to punch it out. Akari retains possession. Well, that's the threat that the Sailors pose from set-piece situations. Well, Gabriel Quagg goes down, along with Tokiwa. Well, the fans are clearly not happy.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? To get that reaction from the stands, from the fans in the crowd here. Missed that.
Especially after such a long time out due to COVID.
Well, it's just starting to grow into this second half here, Lion City Sailors. The delivery from the set pieces has improved. We've seen him put in a couple of good quality balls. Caused a bit of danger to Albirex. Nice little spell of possession here for the Sailors.
Adam, great ball there to Gabriel Quagg, who was unable to bring it down. Gabriel proving to be a nuisance as Takiwa is forced to clear that for a throw-in. Here's Gabriel Quagg. Can't bring that ball down though. No, Adam is at a decent second half, especially going forward.
Yeah, it's been much better since the introduction of Gabriel as well. I think his movement into the channels in between Tokiwa and Yamashita causing a few issues. Just needed to really kill that ball. Played in behind by Nur Adam. Needed to kill it first time.
It's a long, hopeful ball, which Amir Adli has to deal with. Ball still in play. We see Gabriel has actually occupied a central position. I think he's given the freedom to roam. And as you mentioned, Roshan earlier, Stipe is not your stereotypical number 9, and he takes up positions where you wouldn't expect an out-and-out striker. You wouldn't expect to find an out-and-out striker of his stature. But there's a crunching challenge there from Kunimoto.
Oh, I'd like to have another look at that, because in real time, I actually thought it was a good challenge, but off his nose, left in a crumpled heap. Yeah, he surely felt the force of that challenge from Kunimoto.
We felt it from here as well.
The referee was right there. I'm sure he made the correct call. That'd be a terrible referee. But again, it's encouraging signs from the Lion City Sailors. I mean, the way they were able to stretch Albirex in that situation and then find a bit of space to play into, just into that channel there.
George Felipe in the box, awaiting this free kick. 70 minutes played. Haris Harun joins him for company. Lofted ball in is George Felipe with space. Well, it was a volley from the Brazilian defender. Couldn't tell if it was deflected out or if Koga got a hand to it.
He scored against Albirex the last time these two sides met as well, and here he was with a big chance. What an important block by Yamashita there. You can see how much it meant to him, celebrating it like he scored a goal. He certainly saved one for that moment.
Another set piece, and it's George Felipe again making a nuisance of himself. Diego Lopez does well to take it down, as Hafiz Noor this time finds himself on the left flank. Lopez twisting and turning, trying to find a yard of space, but he finds Hafiz Noor instead. Great ball in, and that's Stipe on the end of the cross. Well, everyone's heading to Hafiz Noor, but it's Stipe Plazibat who got the goal. Credit to Hafiz Noor for a great cross in, and you can hear what that means to the Sailors fans. Perhaps the Sailors scoring against the run of play. But the boys in blue find themselves level.
Yeah, the changes here have made a huge difference. Diego Lopez as well, that player who's come on, and I said, with that ability to hold it up, on this occasion he links up really well with Hafiz Noor. It's almost kind of similar to that move that led to Albrex's penalty in the first half, in the sense that, you know, it's a link up on this wider left-hand side. Nice little Cruyff turn, just to set up an opportunity to play Hafiz Noor in with that underlapping run. And then Stipe Plazibat getting himself into the 6-yard box with a simple enough tap in at the end there. But again, he works incredibly hard for the team. And you know, over the last few minutes or so, they've started to grow into the game. Lion City Sailors, those changes have made an impact on them. Albirex have set deeper and deeper.
You know what, this is very similar to the last time these two sides played, when Albirex took a two-goal lead, and the Sailors crapped their way back. Just a confirmation that the score is Albirex 1, Sailors 1 right now. Well, that sets us up for a fantastic 15 minutes or so of football right now, because this is delicately poised. Sailors, as you mentioned, have grown into the game. And it's now about who is hungrier to take risks to go forward.
Well, it's incredible how the momentum of the game can shift, really. I mean, you look at Albirex, have had chance after chance, good quality chances as well in the first half, and really being punished for not providing the finish and really killing the game off. I give Lion City Sailors, I think that was perhaps only the second big opportunity in this game. And they find the back of the net with it. And they're back on level terms here. Hugely important in terms of the bigger picture as well, that league race, that title race that we've got on.
That's Kondo. Plays it out to Nagasawa. I'll tell you what, Roshan, you were spot on in asking for the introduction of Diego Lopez, who you said might spark something, and he definitely has. His ability to turn and look for that forward ball. And he was the one who started the move that led to the equalizer. Sashioka goes up against Noor Adam. The ball comes in. Sailors yet to clear the lines. It's a shot in. Hassan Sani, not for the first time tonight, pulls off another extraordinary save. This time off of Tezuka.
They're back at it, Albirex, aren't they? Again, just upping the tempo, going through the gears. That setback of conceding that equalizer. Tezuka just setting up the shot for Taniguchi.
Hassan showing just what he's made up of in this game. As Chiku prepares for the corner, he sends one in. Really deep corner. But he finds an orange shirt. George Felipe with an important header. Well, if that had gone in, that would have been a spectacular goal from Kondo. And we can hear the Sailors fans chanting Hassan Sani's name. He's basically kept them in the game.
Listen, I think easily man of the match tonight. Okay, well, I say easily. Come back to me then a little bit later on, because I want to give some credit to some of these players as well on the ball.
Stipe with options. Finds Hafiz Noor. Gabriel Quack. Oh, the ball from Hafiz. Putting his teammate in a very difficult position there. But it's good to see the Sailors growing in confidence. Diego Lopez, Stipe, Plazibat, Gabriel Quack and Hafiz Noor finding some rhythm in the game now. End-to-end stuff here at the Jurong East Stadium. And as you mentioned, Roshan, this is so important in the grand scheme of things. Albirex Niigata champions for the 4 times in the last 5 seasons. It's a ball in, which is easily dealt with by No Adam.
Yeah, listen, a point here for the Sailors is not a disaster at all. You know, it keeps them just that point behind. See that cross is coming in, getting blocked there. It's just really important that they don't lose this one, because you look at Albirex's record and you don't see them losing too many games over the rest of the season.
Nagasawa trying to find a yard of space against Amirul Adli, who's done very well. And there's the quality you spoke about, Roshan, with regards to Diego Lopez.
Yeah, just that ability to hang on to the ball is something that they were really lacking in that first half, Lion City Sailors. And especially in those midfield areas, under pressure in those positions. See Diego Lopez using his body really well, and then good footwork. Although it's Albirex now, an opportunity down his left-hand side.
Albirex keeping the ball very patiently as Tezuka looks up for options. There's Taniguchi in space, sends the ball across. Well, Nagasawa wanted the cutback. Do you think that's what Albirex are lacking? A guy who's going to stay in the box, an out-and-out fox in the box?
Yeah, you could say that. You know, someone like a Sir Boy, for example. Yes, and that's something we did highlight early on. But again, when you look at the chances that they did create, they should be finishing off those opportunities. You know, the difficult thing as well is creating chances, and they've done that difficult bit. I mean, I'm not saying finishing is easy at all, especially when you're up against a goalkeeper who's having the sort of game that Hassan Sani is having. But they're doing the difficult bits really well. I think, and again, that just there was another really good example of how they... I'm sure Koga will claim this quite comfortably here, just how, you know, at times, if they just change gears, if they just up that tempo, they move the ball so quickly that it's almost as if they can create opportunities anytime they really sort of want to. But yeah, look, again, you certainly miss a player of Sir Boy's quality. You definitely do. We touched on that. His goal contributions as well, and his overall contributions to Albirex in that forward position.
Stipe plays it out to Hafiz Noor. Akari Abdullah sends the ball in. It's Diego Lopez who goes up for it. But Hashioka doing his defensive duty well. George Lopez with a less than delicate touch. Sorry, it's George Felipe. Pardon me.
Getting the Brazilians mixed up a little bit. But they both had impactful outings, I would say. You know, George Felipe from central defense. Again, I think him and Amirul Adli on an individual basis, if you just look at them and the roles that they've played, I think they've done really well. Lopez obviously coming in and showing his quality and the ability to hold on to the ball and keep it for Lion City Sailors, ease that pressure off them.
And as you touched on, Roshan, earlier, it'll be very interesting to see how Kim Do-hoon sets up a side when Saifullah, Showdown and Song return from suspension, because each of them have something unique to offer.
Yeah, you know, you got to strategize and think about it quite a bit as well. You know, with that quota in play, you got to think about what the game plan is going to be, where you can hurt the opposition, which sort of under-23 players you're going to use, and then that sort of impacts who put in lineup. Oh,
Diego Lopez.
Nice idea there. Diego Lopez, who was just trying to play the pass into Gabriel Kwok, just able to carry the ball forward through the lines and find him in a bit of space there.
Stipe still in possession of the ball. Folds out to Haris. Gives it out to Faris Ramli, who does well to keep it in play and to ensure that the Sailors still have possession. But that was a wayward pass from Akari Abdullah.
Ken Amirul's done really well once more in that situation. not just to win the ball, but to make sure he hangs on to it. He's not just hacking it away and clearing it.
Faris's cross deflected, but he's able to pick it up once again for a throw this time.
Tell you what, it seems like the rain coming down has had a refreshing effect on Lion City Sailors. They've taken the game up a couple of notches.
As we see Taniguchi in space, trying to find Takiwa down that left side. Shiku leaves it for Tezuka. Oh, that's an ambitious effort from Takahashi. Trying to catch Hasan Sani off. But the 37-year-old is well positioned. So we see Sailors holding on to the ball a lot better. And with 7 minutes to go, it's really anybody's game right now.
Well, you just have a look at the way that Sailors have set up as well. In terms of Diego Lopez is dropping into play in midfield alongside Haris. Now, one of the things that they have changed is they've gotten an extra body in that central area to help them out in that sort of possession phase of play. Also been able, with their positioning, just to stretch out Albirex Niigata a little bit more. So there's more space to play in between the lines.
Haris showing great strength to ensure that his side won the throw. No foul, says the referee. As Albirex look to build their attack from the back again.
Yeah, you can just see the players talking to each other as well. Lion City Sailors is encouraging each other, get themselves back into position when they lose the ball here, making sure very quickly.
Hashioka doing well to turn away from Noah Adam. Finds himself in the box. Good ball in. Sailors deal with it on that occasion though. Takahashi finds Hashioka. Ball too close to the goalkeeper on that occasion. Albirex still posing a threat going forward. George Felipe has to sort out his feet there. Unnecessary pressure. The ball going to Taniguchi. Can he find the yard of space? He finds Hashioka instead, who made a right mess of that. Unable to keep his balance as he took the shot.
Tell you what, it's come out from Gabriel actually playing George Felipe into trouble there. Just gets caught in the two minds. I think he doesn't quite make the right decision in that situation. Gabriel probably has got too many options around him, under pressure a little bit. He's got his head down looking at the ball. Just gives it into George Felipe, who's not quite ready to receive a pass.
George Felipe going route one there. Looking for Stipe, who gets the free kick. We're in the final 5 minutes of the game, barring added time, of course. Haris and Diego Lopez exchanging a few passes before the ball goes out to Akari Abdullah. Will we see a late hurrah here at the Jurong East Stadium as Haris Ramli waits for options? Intelligent play from Haris Ramli there, just to earn the contact.
Well, it's a silly foul from Albrex's point of view to give away, really. He had three players around Faris there. You got to know your opposition. He's the type of player who's really clever, using his body, protecting the ball. The moment he feels that contact in his back, he's going to go down. And I mean, when you've got that sort of defensive support, as they did in that situation, just shepherd him away from goal, as they were doing. That support into him was late to arrive, running into a little bit of a cul-de-sac. Instead, now, you're facing a ball towards your goal, under a bit of pressure yourselves.
5 Sailors players in the box. Gabriel Quack sends it in. It falls out to Haris Harun. On his left, perhaps not the kind of contact that he would have wanted, but they still have a corner kick here.
Well, again, it was Yamashita with an important block there. Looked like it was going to make its way through to Koga in goal. Haris Harun just took a bit of time to set himself, found that composure before unleashing with his left foot.
Yamashita keeping a close eye on Stipe Plaza, but it's George Felipe who wins the header. Remember, he scored the equalizer, the reverse fixture, a couple of months ago. Well, a towering header.
Yeah, it's just dominant in the air, isn't he, George Felipe? And I mean, again, probably at the set piece situations, you're thinking instructions are get the ball to George. Just get the ball to George, because, you know, he's a huge favorite to win it in the air. Almost every time. It's again, and even he's not happy with the way he's headed that one clear. Although Haris Harun has done really well to keep a hold of possession for the Sailors.
Faris lays it out wide to Hafiz Noor, who has Diego Lopez in support. Uses him. Diego Lopez sends the ball in. Deflected, well defended by Albirex, just to cut out the danger. It's another corner for Lion City Sailors.
Yeah, really, it's great to watch Diego Lopez on the ball. I mean, his composure in those situations, his footwork, the way he keeps it. Drop of the shoulder here, just trying to find a bit of space there.
As the fans getting behind the Sailors. Hafiz Noor with the ball in. Albirex clear, and there could be a counter on here. Oh, well defended by Faris. Sprinting back, putting a good challenge in.
That's great, that's brilliant, and that's absolutely the kind of thing Kim Do-hoon will want to see, you know, tracking back from a situation where you're in an advanced area from your own set piece.
Oh, there's a delightful ball from Diego Lopez out to Gabriel Quack. The second touch, I believe, let him down there. Again, you see the quality of Diego Lopez, able to pick up the ball and look for that pass.
Yeah, once he gets his head up, it's just straight away he's looking for runners in behind. It's a nice run from Gabriel from a deeper position. Again, I've seen a couple of occasions that it needs to stick in those areas, just skids up. Doesn't quite get a good enough contact on it initially with the first touch, and it skids up off the turf.
Hafiz Noor sprinting away with the ball. Here's Diego Lopez. Trying to find a yard to shoot, takes a shot. Too close to Koga on that occasion. Diego Lopez has been a live wire here for the Sailors.
Yeah, great. Brilliant to watch on the ball. Again, once more, he just uses that composure to sit down Yamashita. Yamashita thinks he's going to have a crack at goal with his left foot. Shimmies it, shifts it onto his right. Fortunately, it's straight down the middle to the welcoming arms of Koga. He positioned himself really well. Again, that quick break. Let's have a look at this here. Nice touch away on the right foot. Probably would have wanted the ball a little bit further away from his shot there. Couldn't quite make the connection that you would have liked in terms of the direction.
Well, the fourth official has indicated 4 minutes of added time. And that means 4 minutes of nerves for us, because this game could go either way. And that could have serious implications on the title race. Haris Harun, they're going to send the ball in. It's George Felipe who wins the header. Falls out to Noor Adam. Gabriel Quack lays it out to Akari Abdullah. Poor cross from the 30-year-old. Koga not in a rush to get things going. You get the feeling that both teams will be happy with the draw here.
I don't know, you know, the way it's going here, they're both still trying to take 3 points here. I think they both realize how important a win could be in this one. And while there's still time on the clock, they're going to go for it, which is great for us. We're neutrals, why do we care?
I think the commitment both sides have shown today has been outstanding. Haris finding Diego Lopez once again. Takahashi gives it away for a throw. Diego Lopez finds himself in some space, plays it quickly to Stipe. Just couldn't hold on to the ball for a bit longer. Hashioka playing it out to Kondo.
Fantastic challenge by Noradam. Lovely defending by the young man there. He got himself back, goal side, and recovered with an excellent challenge. Let's get possession for his team.
Diego Lopez has made a good run. Is he on? Well, the ball wasn't the best ball from Hafiz Noor.
An opportunity on the break. They're both going for it here, you know. Just making the wrong decision on that occasion, Hafiz Noor.
Kondo has found himself all over the pitch today. In the short time he's been on it. Hashioka shown the left, but he somehow shifts it to his favorite right. Puts a decent ball in. Akari had to get his head to that, because Nagasawa was creeping there.
Yeah, you know, I think if he wasn't sure, just get it out and away, deal with the corner after that. Did have Nagasawa in behind him. He is facing his own goal, very tricky to deal with. Hashioka did really well to just open up a bit of space for himself, get away from Noradam, get a cross into the box.
Chiku, they're looking to put a good ball in these dying stages of the game. Will we see late drama? Ball sent in. Stipe gets his head to it. Albirex restart, but it's given away to Hafiz Noor. Over the top, looking for Stipe, but poor ball. Is there time for one last attack here? Well, that was a quick reply. Referee says no. It's finished 1-0. What an entertaining game we've had here at the Jurong East Stadium. Albirex Niigata and Lion City Sailors showing why they're the top two teams in the Singapore Premier League, battling to a 1-0 draw. Albirex scoring via Taniguchi in the first half after the Sailors conceded a late penalty, but the introduction of Diego Lopez sparked the Sailors back to life as the Brazilians started the move, which ended off with Stipe Plazibat grabbing the all-important equalizer. And that goal means that it's finished. Albirex Niigata 1, Lion City Sailors 1. Stay tuned because we will have post-match reactions from both coaches. But first, we have Colette Wong, who's with Roshan Rai to discuss the highlights of this entertaining game.
Thank you very much, Abi. It's been a great game, absolutely, to the delight of the 100 fans inside the Jurong East Stadium. And about 100 fans, I'd say, outside of the fences, braving the rain, sitting out there without umbrellas. It's been an absolutely fantastic evening for the fans inside and outside the stadium. It's been an absolutely fantastic evening of football for both these teams, Albirex and Niigata. Lion City Sailors sharing the spoils. It was a match of two halves, would you say, with Albirex dominating the first half and Lion City conjuring up that response?
I think so, I'd say so. And I mean, Albirex Niigata were very good in that first half at creating dangerous opportunities. And this was the first one they really had early on in that first half. Nagasawa there with an opportunity right down the middle. Hits it straight towards Hassan Sani, though. It's a good save. Hassan Sani had a very impressive game for Lion City Sailors. And then we saw Hafiz Noor with that free kick. You know, opportunities for Lion City Sailors in the first half, few and far between. But Albirex Niigata with plenty of high-quality chances. Nagasawa there with a shot from range. Just palmed over the bar by Hassan Sani. This one as well. Have a look at the saves that's going to come through here as well. It goes all the way towards the back post. Kunimoto at that far post there. Can't quite find the finish because of that excellent work from Hassan Sani, Colette.
What did you make of the Lion City's defense in that first half?
I think actually Amirul Adli and Georges Philippe actually on that individual basis actually did really well in terms of the individual battles, handling the situations themselves. But the pace at which Albirex were playing at as well at times was very difficult to deal with. You look at how quickly they give and go this ball here. Tokiwa on the underlap, linking up with Nagasawa down that left-hand side, taking the contact from Akari, definitely was a penalty. And even here, Taniguchi stepping up to score his 4th goal of the season. Hassan Sani almost comes up with the big save. I thought they didn't get enough protection overall defensively in that first half, Lion City Sailors, and they couldn't keep a hold of that ball. And I said, you know, at half-time, I think he's going to bring on Diego Lopez just to make sure they've got a player in there who can hang on to it. And that's certainly what we saw. Although there still were some opportunities for Albirex in the second half. You see a bit of a defensive mix-up there, Colette.
Yeah, that was in the 50th minute. Hassan Sani still required to keep Lion Cities in the game. But the keeper on the other end, he had some work to do as well.
Yeah, Koga again gets his positioning spot on, and just have a look at the build-up to this one. Again, you know, really good cohesion down that left-hand side. It's Hafiz Noor gets that run in ahead of Taniguchi, lets his men run in behind, and then Hafiz Noor picks out a perfect cut back into Stipe Plazibat, who's positioned well in the box there to find the back of the net. Diego Lopez, I mean, he comes in and he makes a big difference in terms of his individual quality with the ball, the ability to hold it up, keep that possession under pressure, create chances for his side. He certainly made a big impact in the second 45, and that's why you saw a much improved performance from the Lion City Sailors. Plazibat there with the finish to get his 10th goal of the season. Much better second half from the Lion City Sailors, which in turn gave us a really good game, Colette.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, first half was a little bit one-sided. Second half, it was end-to-end right till the end. And it's a credit to these players as well, because they knew how important those 3 points could potentially be. They were both going for it.
Okay, let's have a look at the stats from this game between Albirex and Lion City Sailors. As you can see, after the first half, the stats were skewed well towards Albirex Niigata, but more even at the end of the game.
Yeah, more even at the end of the game. I think it was 2 shots, 2 on target at halftime. There were lots of 2s on the side of the Lion City Sailors, but much better in the second half. Those changes that they made, of course, an injection of quality, but also I think the way they positioned certain players, you know, made a big difference for them in how they were able to stretch Albirex Niigata in between the lines, which allowed them to create a few more opportunities in possession when they had the ball.
How would you grade Kim Do-hoon's first match in charge of the Lion City Sailors?
It's okay, a B perhaps. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. I think it's understandable. You know, he's not had too long with the side to get his ideas across. He's still learning about his players as well. You know, who he can trust, who can deliver for him. Still getting adjusted to the unique rules, regulations of the league as well. But I think he'll be delighted with how his players responded in that second half, because I think he wouldn't have been happy at all with the first. So you know, I think second half would have been really happy. With the reaction that his side showed in the second.
Okay, before I ask you the next question, I'm just wondering whether the managers are ready for their interviews or not. They're down on the ground because the rain is falling, so we're not sure if we're actually going to get them or not. But we're going to have a look ahead at the schedule of the Singapore Premier League. Of course, we're halfway through the season already, and we've got these 2 games coming up for you to complete game week 12. We've got Hougang United up against Tanjong Pagar United. Hougang United can pull within 2 points of the top of the table with a win over Tanjong Pagar tomorrow. Kickoff there is at 5:30 p.m. at the Hougang Stadium. And then the following day, you've got Geylang International. They will meet Balestier Khalsa. And that will wrap up game week 12 with some exciting matches here in the AIA Singapore Premier League. At the end of the day, looking back at the match, which of the 2 coaches do you think will be happier?
I'm not quite sure either will be really delighted, because these 2 guys are both winners. They both will want the 3 points at the end of the day. There will be aspects to the game that they will be satisfied with. I think, again, it touched on what Kim Do-hoon will be happy with. What he won't be happy with was their performance in the first half, the lack of a real quality in possession in that first half, how loose they were defensively as well. And then for Shigetomi, I think he'll be emphasizing the fact that they need to be finishing off opportunity and killing teams off, really.
Yeah, for both sides, actually. Well, the 2 coaches are ready. They're with Stanley Yeo. Let's hear from them.
Already.
Coach Kim,
Yeah.
a much improved second half. What do you tell the boys at halftime?
지금 이 쿼터 때 훨씬 더 좋은 경기력을 보여줬었는데 선수들한테 이 쿼터 때 무슨 말을 해줬나요?
우리가 할 수 있다는 자신감을 가져야 된다고 생각했고요. 뭐 실점을 부분이 뭐 우리가 잘 못해서가 아니라 피해를 줬지만 우리가 경기를 잘 하고 있었기 때문에 그걸 계속 유지하자고 했습니다.
So yes, we conceded a penalty, but it wasn't because we were playing bad. I told the players that we were playing well, so just to keep it up, and we should be able to win it back.
우리는 훨씬 강하다는 자신감을 가지자고 했습니다.
We're a much stronger team, so we should be confident on the ball.
Okay, thank you, coach.
예.
Roshan.
They were not good in the first half. He says they were, but they weren't. And I think that's because he's a new coach. He's coming in. He's not going to hammer his team in his first match, in his post-match interview, right? So, I'm sure there would have been different words said in the dressing room. I think it would have adjusted. I don't think he would have gone in and thrown things around.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way to sort of do it. But he would have be looking at it and try to reorganize certain aspects of it, and that's stuff that I touched on. Making the changes that he could make, adjusting the positioning a little bit. What you had at times as well was the wingers and Stipe Plazibat really trying to stretch that back line, pinning the defenders, Albirex defenders back, so that created a bit more space in the midfield to work with. Of course, I mean, it sounds like a broken record here, but Diego Lopez coming in and adding lots and lots of quality in possession for the Lion City Sailors side.
I'm not sure he'll be starting another game on the bench, Diego Lopez, given the quality that he brings to this side. But I wanted to ask you, with regards to a new coach coming in, say, mid-season, how difficult is it for the players themselves to adjust to a new man in charge?
It is difficult. It's going to take a bit of time as well to really sort of get his ideas fully across. And there's this element of automation that you kind of want, and you see that with teams who are really well coached and coaches who have been there for a long time. You can see the style very clearly in terms of what the players are able to deliver at the moment, because they're used to what Vitma has. They're coming into a different sort of system, different style, so that automation is going to take time to work with.
Okay, so there'll be some time getting used to know each other.
Yep.
Let's hear from the Albirex coach. It is Keiji Shigetomi. He's with Stanley Yo.
Coach KG, it was a game of two halves. Were you disappointed with your side's result in the second half?
Unfortunately, we couldn't get the 3 points, but the player worked hard for 90 minutes. We have to change our minds and prepare for the next match.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Keiji Shigetomi. I'm not too sure how disappointed he was. I suppose part of the elixir comes from the fact that Albirex Niigata is still top of the table.
Yeah, and I think, again, he will be disappointed with the fact that he must have thought Albirex were the better side. He's absolutely right about the players putting in the effort throughout the game. And they should have really killed it off. Before we go, I really want to give credit to Coach Keiji Shigetomi for doing an interview in his second language. It's not easy at all, and it's a credit to him that he's trying. So I really respect Keiji Shigetomi for actually putting himself out there and trying to give these interviews in English.
Yep. We've got to talk about the race, the title race. I mean, it's still 1 point between these two sides, and then you've got the likes of Tampines and Hougang. I was mentioning they're up against Tanjung Pagar tomorrow. 3 points there, and they're just 2 back of the lead.
Look, it's a fascinating title race. Nice and tight. Teams are in it, and there's lots of quality on display, and you can see how hard these guys are really fighting, because it's a very close title race here at hand. Hougang, another side who have been very impressive with the sort of counter-attacking game that they employed in most of their matches this season. So it's going to be a good weekend. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that one. Don't forget, you can tune into all the matches on the SPL here on Singtel, on StarHub, as well as live stream across several websites. But that's it from us here at the Jurong East Stadium. 1-1 the final score between Albirex Niigata and the Lion City Sailors. What a great match it is. The second half of the season should be absolutely riveting. Roshan, thanks so much for your commentary. Thanks so much for your punditry. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend, everyone, and stay safe.